Hey everybody, I'm back again. This is Bryan Brisson with Typical Sports Fan here to give you my best bets of the second week of the NFL season. I am going to be renaming these videos NFL best bets and then proceed it with the week that corresponds with it. Spread preview and picks, that just to me made it seem like I was going to go over all 16 games. That's not going to happen. I am going over the best bets that I have for this weekend to try to make you guys some money and make myself some money. So let's kick it off with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. My best bet for this game is Philadelphia -3. I think the Eagles are much more sound offensively and defensively than the Bucs. I think this should be at least a 10-point game. But like we saw last week, Tampa Bay is more talented than I expected. However, I have learned do not judge a team off their best game. That will by far be their best game of the season, offensively, at least putting up 48 points. Nick Foles, Nelson Aguilar, Jay Ajayi, I think all of them are going to have big weeks. And I don't see the Tampa Bay offense doing what they were able to do last week, putting up 48 points against the Saints, whose defense just, I guess, collapsed. And I think that the Philadelphia Eagles defense is much better than the New Orleans Saints. So we'll move on to the next game. I have everybody's favorite Buffalo Bills taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are 7-point favorites, and that's what we're riding with. We're riding Chargers -7 because the Chargers are, again, much better team. The Buffalo Bills are a dumpster fire of an organization. Whenever you draft Josh Allen, 7th overall, you are a dumpster fire. I'm sorry, they might be the worst team in the NFL. We did our power rankings for TSF. I did mine today. The Bills are number 32 so far across the board. They are terrible. And I don't know what gave Bills fans optimism about them making the playoffs last year. You got rid of the quarterback that got you to the playoffs. Josh Allen's not good. I expect him to have multiple interceptions. If you play daily fantasy, go get the Chargers defense. Last time these two teams met, the Chargers put up, I believe it was 54 points. I expect them to get close to that again. So, Chargers -7 against the Bills. We will be betting against the Bills a lot. Probably every week, to be honest. We bet against them last week. We're betting against them again this week. Both of these, the two times we bet them so far, they were 7-point underdogs. That is very high in the NFL. Normally, games are between 2 and 6. When you get 7, 9, I saw one that was 13 points between the Rams and the Cardinals. We're not touching that game. That is way too high. I think the Rams will dominate, but that is way too high. 7 is even high, but hey, the Bills suck, plain and simple. So let's move on to the very next matchup we're going to talk about this week, and it's the Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers kind of hurt me a bit last weekend, coming back from 20 points down. But Minnesota, much better coaching than the Bears have, much better offense than the Bears have. And I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is playing. I don't think it would be smart if he is still hurt to play him again. I didn't think it was smart for him to go out in the second half because you just signed a $103 million contract and you were risking yourself for a week 1 victory, which, it's a division game. I get it. But if you're the Packers, you got to think long term and be like, listen, we signed him for 6 years. We owe him a minimum of $103 million. We need to protect him. So I think DeShone Kizer will make another appearance this week and probably just ruin the Packers' hopes of winning this game. Minnesota +1. I love it. Lock it in. That defense is stellar. That offense is very good. Expect Dalvin Cook to have a huge game against the Packers defense. Now we're going to move on to the Monday night game. I love betting Monday Night Football because it's a standalone game. Both teams normally want to rise up to the occasion, but very rarely will that happen, as we saw this past Monday where both games were blowouts. The Raiders did do well in the first half, and well, the Jets did what the Jets. The Jets were not the Jets, I guess I should say. They blew out the Lions. The Lions, they might have some problems. Matthew Stafford is probably the worst good quarterback you'll ever see, because let's say 30, 40 years from now, people look at Matthew Stafford's stats as he's in the Hall of Fame for some reason. Hey, this guy was pretty damn good. And then, people who watched him play will be like, that guy sucked. He was terrible. All he did was throw interceptions and play from behind. So that's my review of the Monday night games, I guess. Should have done that the other day. But the Bears -3, great pick. The Seattle Seahawks really don't have much offensively to build around, whereas the Bears have Anthony Miller, Trey Burton. Look for him to have a big game this week. Allen Robinson, Tariq Cohen, Jordan Howard, and Mitchell Trubisky, if he continues the progression rate I expect him to, where he has done better every week last year. I think this week is going to be a good week for the Bears offense. You look at the other side of the ball, defensively, the Bears showed what they could do in that first half. The 24 points, that was unacceptable in the second half, but Aaron Rodgers had his little magic tricks and played amazing. The Bears need to have better coaching this week for us to win this bet. As long as the Bears can play aggressive the whole game, there is no reason -3 doesn't cover for us. And this does get recorded on Thursday, so maybe by Sunday these lines change a little. And I think the Bears is one of those lines that could swing in our favor. It might get down to -2, -1 even. And the Bears will definitely cover -1 or -2. Minnesota will become a favorite. That could be a bit hesitant if you get them as anything I'd say above a -3. That's a bit hesitant for me to bet. The Chargers, they could get all the way to -10, and I will still tell you to take them. And the Eagles could get to about -5. I'd still say take them. But that's it for this week's edition. I'll see you guys next week for our review. Thanks for watching.